Alright, guys. I always wanted to make a little introduction guide for our newcomers for hardcore raiding in Friendship. That's why I picked some random VOD from one of our BWL clears. It takes like 50 minutes of raid time, and I just will go through the main abilities of bosses and trash mobs and help you get an easy start about consumables and raid tactics, and especially our hardcore tactics, so you don't feel overwhelmed in your first raids. All right, let's get into it. So before the raid, there's some preparation to be done in terms of consumables. So for example, very important is everyone pop a greater shadow protection potion. That is especially for rogues. It will usually, if nothing goes wrong, will be up for the whole raid. That means it's mainly for the Shadow Flame, which is a frontal breath from the dragon bosses like Fire Maw, Eben Rock, Flame Gore, and Nefarian. So usually these Shadow Flames will only hit the main tank, but if there is any accident like over-threatening or wing buffet errors, etc., then this is your main failsafe to not die. So for example, on Nefarian, rogues can be rooted in front of him and eat the Shadow Flame, and then you really want the Shadow Protection potion in order to save your life. Other than that, there is a lot of off-tanking to be done in this raid. So that means Paladins, please make sure to refresh Salvation on the off-tanks before every bosses so that they can don't overthreat the main tank so easily. Check if you have Hearthstone up for Valestras and enough Petries in your inventory. So in general, I would recommend having at least 3 or 4 Petries in inventory. So if ever we have a double Petri out, whatever, you name it, just be safe. They cost like 30 golds and they will guaranteed save your life at some point. There's another item that is exclusively to this raid, which is sand for removing the Chromabu stun. You can loot this throughout the dungeon, but you can also trade it from before the raid if you really need 1 or 2. And yeah, that's it for the beginning. And then we start with the third boss, which is
In the little
Razor Gore.
spells, the Monday raid window. I
And
traded one more cloak just
it's a
now,
little
and I hope everyone
introduction
has
boss,
sent.
which is
And
like
I mean cloak snap.
more of I will mute the sound here, which is like more of it's a role play event, right? In a sense that it's not really a tough boss fight. It's more like a introduction to the dungeon. Usually we do not unboon. Um, when the boss spawns, we don't pop major cooldowns. We distribute the raid into 4 groups, and yeah, that's basically it. Just there are 4 corners in the room: north, west, east, south. We will distribute tanks and melees, etc., in these groups, and the rest of the rangers healers stay in the middle of the room. I'll just walk through the fight real quick because it's mostly rinse and repeat. But there is in the beginning there is this trash mob, Gather the Controller, which is Skull. We always nuke him insta, so I want everyone to focus Skull in the beginning of the combat because he has a mind control at some point if he lives too long, and this is gonna be scary because we can actually cleave kill the mind control, and yeah, therefore just nuke him. The main tank will take over the orb and control the RP event, which is like mind controlling this Razor Gore guy there, and then killing all the 30x in the room. The raid will, yeah, distribute among the room as I told, and kill the ads that will spawn. It's an RP event, yada yada yada, rinse and repeat. So it will take on for a very long time. So I'm just gonna forward here. Um, da 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 dum. Let's go back a bit. So you will see that 29x are destroyed. Then we will announce that the 30x is gonna be destroyed. That means at this point, all melees get ready to move closer to the boss, Razorgore, and use a fab, right? A free action potion. You can see it on my reframes really soon. It's because he has a War Stomp like a stun and you really wanna DPS him down quickly. Other than that, stay behind the boss. And there is a conflag mechanic similar to the UBRS end boss Drakizas. That means the main tank, which is the guy using the orb, will have unlimited threat, but he can get conflag rated, so stunned. And when he's stunned, obviously he loses threat, like every CC, like fear, etc. And he will turn to the second target. So ideally, the second target is always the second tank. And you can see how this plays out here. Second tank will be hopefully a tank if everything goes right here. This is me, Shirai. So me and Adevar are second in threat. And we have a fab running, as you can see the icon in the middle of the screen. So whenever Sinless gets conflict rated now, which is the main tank, then he will turn to the second tank, Shirai or Adevar, and these tanks are standing slightly to the side. So just important, don't use Death Wish here. Keep it for the next boss because it's a longer cooldown. And yeah, off tanks focus on tanking the remaining Dragon Adds. You can see there are some Dragon Adds here remaining. So I usually want off tanks to tank them to the side here, and everyone else focus on the boss, kill him. That's it. Kill the boss and go to the next room. Next room also starts with a little RP event. We go into the room and kill some goblins. So that is just to get their loot, basically. We're gonna use sprint and speed buffs, get them charged, then stun, then kill them, and they drop elementium ore, which we need for several items, including AQ40 weapons and yeah, Thunder Fury, basically. Just kill them, and then we're gonna go to Valestras. Um, Gonna skip forward a bit. Well, it's going fast enough. Usually, depending on the timing, we will unboon here because we played the first event without without world buffs. So that means usually unboon here. We will remind everyone, check for yourself. This is yeah, straightforward fight. Boss starts at 30 HP life. Main tank will talk to him, start the event, and then it's a very threat sensitive fight in a sense. Give the main tank 2 seconds to establish threat. There is a lot of raid damage in the raid, and I will pop up everything that is important to you right now in a little info screen and pause the boss fight in the meantime. So yeah, unboon and heal up. Mage portal, so 30 seconds before the fight starts. You will usually have a timer on Bigwigs. Yeah, 30 seconds before the fight starts. Mages should cast mage portals over there, near this pillar. And so that whoever gets the Burning Adrenaline, which is the main ability, can use a portal or a Hearthstone to leave the fight. So Burning Adrenaline is only on mana users. You get a debuff, explode after 20 seconds, kill yourself and the whole raid if you do not leave the area, which can be done by the Hearthstone or the Mage portal. Yeah, warriors usually Recklessness and Deathwish here. Paladins, you have a Fire Res aura active. There's a bit of raid damage going on from the pulsating Fire Res aura from Ballistras, but mostly it's main tank damage, so yeah, check your healing assignments and respect them. Whoever gets Burning Adrenaline will be caught out and just move out of the group and take the Mage Portal or Hearthstone. So if the player with the Burning Adrenaline for some reason is like griefing or AFKing or disconnecting, then don't panic. Yeah, call it out, and everyone else move away from the player. Usually he's marked with an icon, and this is a rare occasion, but whenever this will happen to us, just be prepared for that. Other than that, chill on threat. If a melee pulls threat, which is bad, but if it happens, then at least lip and move to the tank position, right? If the boss aggro's on a melee, he will cleave, like this is a dragon, he will cleave and breath into the raid and kill all the other melees, which is not ideal. Okay, let's go through this fight real quick. Warriors, you have unlimited rage, rogues unlimited energy, so you can pump, pump, pump. You can spam, execute, bloodthirst, but chill on threat, right? Give 2 seconds. 2 seconds for the main tank, then threat should be no issue. Main tank usually is also starting Recklessness, Deathwish, Rage Potion, Trinkets, etc. And then also switching to Battle Stance for execute at 20%. But yeah, you see timers running down, Mage is casting Portal. And there will be a fight will starting soon. And yeah, always watch your threat meter. And you see Essence of the Red is the boss, the buff, and you get unlimited rage, unlimited energy. And yeah, you can spam, spam, spam. And always watch threat, but you sincere main tank has a huge threat lead, and usually it's not a big deal if the main tank is adequately equipped. So you can see the explosion going out. There is he's marked with skull. This is a living bomb, living burning adrenaline. So it's on true Dresto. He has 20 seconds to leave the raid. So that is what he's gonna do. You see him moving here to the mage portal or hearthstoning, and then he's gone. That like easy peasy. Keep healing the main tank. He gets a little fire res aura. So from this point, usually we send a warlock, the warlocks and the rogues out to summon. So in this case, I bet all three warlocks are going out to summon Druid Resto, the guy that just got burning adrenaline, right? And that's it. We're gonna go to the next pack. Let me pull up the next info panel here and skip forward. So we're gonna go move up the room, walk to this stuff here, and go to this room. Let me see. Yeah, let's go up here real quick. Yeah, we're gonna move to this room. All right. So usually it's important that tanks, hunters, and druids, you come to this position here in the corner where Star is right now, and you're gonna get your targets. Yeah? We're gonna mark these up, and tanks get your targets. So every tank has a target. Every druid has a target to hibernate, to sleep the wormkins, and every hunter usually has a target to kite, pull or kite one of these. So usually the big captain guy here on the right side is kited by a hunter away, to the right side of the room, and the others are just pulled and kited downstairs so that the tanks can pick them up. Hunters remove salvation always when you have a pull duty. Remove salvation, and you can also trank the Seether, the Death Talon Seether later. Tanks pick up your targets early and pull them to the left. I will show you where. And yeah, druids, you guys just gonna spam hibernate on these. In this case, it's just Circle, which is a wormkin, needs to be hibernated. And could be there's a second one. Then there will be two druids assigned to hibernate. Other one, priests focus on dispelling here. And yeah, the very important on this pack is that every melee and everyone else do not cleave until the captain is kited out of the room. But let's see how this plays out here. Just for example demonstration, this one pack. Yeah, marking up. Da-da-dum. You can see the captain is green. The Seethers are always focus targets, Skull and X. They have an enrage and nasty damage, so hunters be ready to trank them, right? And hibernate. So hunters can pull usually, anyone can pull basically, but it's good if hunters can get a shot off, a clear auto shot or aimed shot at least on these targets so that they have a little threat lead. But as I said, don't cleave in the beginning and let them run out. Yeah. We're gonna take it slow here. I think slow is good in hardcore. No need to rush that much. I mean, obviously we don't want to be super slow while buffs are running, but yeah. You see everyone is picking up his target. I'm on blue, so that's why I'm picking up blue. Pick up your targets. Every tanks pick your mobs to the left side. Yeah, Moon is in wrong position. Yeah. All four mobs go left side. The captain is getting kited already away from the hunter. You cannot see it. Ah, he's over there in the background. Yeah, here keep tranking the Seethers and priest dispel the various debuffs here. And other than that, you're just gonna take on the captain who's coming over there and yeah, kill him. He has an aura that breaks CC and buffs the others. That's why we're gonna kite him away. We don't want him near the others. He can break the hibernate, etc. And yeah, kill him. Go in the room, kill the hibernate. There's a second pack, which is the same, so I'm gonna skip forward for this. It's the same captain. Then we're gonna move to the suppression room. What's important about the suppression room is rogues are on trap duty and tanks pick up your targets, right? That's it. One hunter will pull the mobs. Every tank, please pick up the targets. There are these warlocks here, Skull, Axe, and Cross. They are come in 4 or 3 packs, and there are these hatchers here. The hatchers have an AoE aura around them, and they have a flame strike on the ground. So rogues, if you are on trap duty, so rogues are moving ahead of the raid and disarming these traps. And also one rogue will stay on the raid to disarm the traps that reappear. But other than that, just don't get knocked out of stealth. You need to be in stealth in order to do this, and so stay away from the hatchers, or the aura from them will knock you out of stealth. And that's it's very safe here. I never see anyone dying here, but it's important that the tanks are mobbed and there's not too much fire damage in the raid. You see they have a stacking aura that increases fire damage taken. So if this stacks too high, yeah, you can see it on my debuffs here, then just give it a second to reset the threat. They have a flame strike on this ground, the hatchers, so just turn them away. Don't stand in the flame strike and pick up the warlocks here. So, but that's that. And stay away from the traps. We stay on the right side usually. Yeah, kill these warlocks, and then I'm just gonna skip forward here a bit. So we're gonna move to the room, always stay on the right side, pick up the next warlocks here. Yeah. There is a little room in the suppression room where we can take a mana break. We're going to the next room, suppression room continues. There are again hatchers here. And then we're gonna go stay on the right side and take a little break here in the cubby, okay? So we got, let me see. So you see this. We cleared the last packs, the AoE mob, the Dragonlings, and kill the Hatcher. And then we take a mana break in this corner before the next boss. Next boss is gonna be Lash Layer. Let me pull up the screen here. Yeah, there's nothing much to it. Lash Layer is usually a tank and spank fight, so stay behind the tanks. Let the 3 tanks go in. We need 3 tanks usually to tank him. Rogues will be on trap duty. There will be 1 trap in the beginning, which needs to be cleared. Paladins will be called out to pre-lay on hands the tanks. So like 10 seconds before the fight starts, you lay on hand the tanks for the armor buff. Then you rack mana real quick, and then we pull. And everyone else stay below the tanks here. It's a very hard hitting boss. It's one of the hardest hitting bosses in the game. So he will definitely Mortal Strike plus auto attack kill anyone that is not a very buffed tank. So please respect that. It's no joke. He's one of the hardest hitting bosses in the game. He has a flame knockback around him, which in combination with another auto attack can also be deadly. So yeah, usually there are some ninja pulls here when the rogues fail the trap. But yeah, you can see we are suppressed here from the trap, so we are slowed. But Sinless already grabbed him, he has buffs running, and the threat is good. So check the threat meter. Sinless and Adava are the tanks, they are on top. And Shira is the third one, so all 3 tanks are on the top. He has a threat reset, so that's why there need to be 3 tanks in order to always guarantee that 1 tank is on him. And he has a Mortal Strike, and so healers be aware there can be nasty damage spikes on the tanks. And tanks be ready to equip a shield or last stand in case. When he dies, we're gonna move away from the gate and let the next part start. Next part is gonna be a very long repeating part of lab packs, so-called lab packs, and you need to equip an Oni cloak because the next boss is Fire Maw. So at this point, we're gonna call everyone out to equip a Oni cloak, and I'm gonna explain this once in detail, what is happening here, and these are the so-called lab packs, okay? I'm gonna pull forward a bit in order to you to see it. We have a mage tank actually on these. These lab packs consist of a dozen goblins which throw dynamite on a fixed spot in the room. And you cannot tank them with traditional metas. That's why you need someone who can AoE tank them. And this is usually done by a mage who can kite them with arcane explosion, etc. And has healers assigned to him. So you see purple is pulling. You see the goblins, they are running to him and they start throwing dynamite. You can see it, they are starting to throw it at a fixed spot at the point where the unit was when they start the spell. So if you keep moving around them in circles, they will actually never hit you, right? And that's what the mage is doing. He's moving in circles around them. So you see this, that's it. You don't need to know more about this. And there are other mobs. There are the warlocks, the overseers, and the spellbinders, which will be tanked. Everyone has tank assignments. So I have 5 tank assignments at maximum. We're gonna focus the warlocks, Skull. You cannot really interrupt them, but just kill them. There are the spellbinders and there are the overseers. There's a lot to know about these packs for every role, so I'm just gonna pull this up real quick because in total there are like 8 lab packs we have to play, so they rinse and repeat for the whole next section. So for now we have everyone has an Oni cloak equipped in case we ninja pull fire more. We have a mage tank. Hunters click again salvation off. You're pulling your assigned targets, could be skull, X, and so on. And you're gonna pull auto aim shot plus distracting shot. And you pull them back into the room and line of sight behind a corner. Because these are caster mobs, the warlocks, spellbinders, and they will only move if you break the line of sight to them. Hunters will place frost traps here at the position for the mage tank to kite these and slow them. And tanks let the tank targets run back into the room. So no melee under any circumstances should no melee ever go near these goblins here, right? If you ever go in there and eat like 3 or 4 dynamites, it's insta dead, right? You cannot resist it, etc. So you never go in there, okay? And so that's why tanks let the warlocks, etc., run back far into the raid and away from the goblins before you pick them up as a tank. And if you ever have the situation that your tank target, like the warlock here, is having threat on the mage tank, yeah, then you have to pop a GFPP and go in there and grab it, taunt it, and pull it out line of sight. Healers, make sure to watch for the mage tank, insta-dispel the poison and the sheep. So one paladin should just spam dispel on the mage. And yeah, priests keep shields for emergencies. And that's it. Just gonna walk through this. This is a little pack. The first pack only has 2 warlocks, that's it. So this is very easy for introduction. Second pack is around the corner. It has 1 overseer and 1 spellbinder, I believe. So the overseer cleaves, and as a melee mob is tanked away from the raid, killed lastly. And then you saw there's a spellbinder, which is Moon. He will be interrupted by rogues. He casts the flame strike and he casts the polymorph on the mage tank, which is very crucial that you dispel this and also interrupt the flame strike. Then there's another set here, again spellbinders warlocks. Just gonna skip over this. See here is Moon as a spellbinder, is all tanked. They are magic immune, so only melees can damage them. And yeah, position, move out of the rain of fire. Yeah, there's also rain of fire from the warlocks. And yeah, should be good. Should be good if the mage tank knows what he's doing. Then melee's tanks pick up targets, interrupts should be easy. Then after this pack, there will be Firemore. He is patrolling in the area. We mark him. And yeah, this is a very interesting fight in a sense that you definitely need your Oni cloak in case we get a Shadow Flame, and tanks always need it. In case we get a Shadow Flame in the raid, you have your Oni Cloak, you also have create a Shadow Protection Potion, so you're safe even if we have a big accident. So that's we always have a fail safe in hardcore. There will be healers on the other side of the wall healing the main tank. The main tank will be staying here at this position, and there will be healers on this side of the wall healing the raid, etc. Everyone is getting stacking fire debuff. You can see it on your debuff frame. It's a stacking debuff that increases fire damage taking and will pulsate. So after 8 stacks, you have to go line of sight here behind this wall on the right side and reset your stacks. And when the stacks are reset to 0, you can go back in and resume damage. And Paladin have Fire as aura. Priest can pray off healing through the wall. And the off tanks are standing here on this side and they are going to taunt the wing buffet. But it's mostly tank mechanics, so I'm not going to go over this. We can have a dedicated tank discussion about this. Just let's see how this plays out here. Tank will pick him up. He will position him in the doorway, just chill on threat a bit. He's tauntable. But yeah, you see Wing Buffet is a threat reset mechanic. It's only for tanks, so you don't need to know about it if you're healer or DPS. But you see that there's a stacking debuff here, which you have to reset at 8 stacks. Other than that, have greater shadow protection potion up. This is a tank mechanic here, so it's not ideal. This is it's a good scenario because this is where a big accident is happening. The dragon is moving out of position, and bad timing. He is turning into the raid. I didn't Shadow Flame, right? But yeah, people have a lot of stacks, already a lot of damage, and there's chaos. So even if he would have Shadow Flame now, everyone should have a GSPP, and then it's no big deal. Your GSPP will just consume the Shadow Flame, and everyone has a cloak. So that's why I face it. But that's not ideal. Should not happen again. But yeah, we kill this boss and go next pack. Next pack is just Tank and Spank, Skull, X, and Moon. And the big guy is an introduction to the scariest trash mobs in the instance, the Deathtail and Wormguards. And this needs special attention. So there will be one tank fapping, pulling them to the side, and everyone else will cleave the other ones. So you can see Hunter is pulling blue to the left side. It's mainly for melee. Stay away from him. He has an AoE stun, so blue is AoE stun. That's why we fap, or not to be stunned. And he has special abilities, which will be interesting later. But he can have a threat reset, or he can make the main tank spinning. So then threat is sketchy, and you need a backup tank, which you can see here. Saren is backup tanking here. Should stay a bit farther away in order to not get stunned. You can see in here getting stunned because the fab is not running. So ideally the backup tank stays in the raid here, out of range from the stun, and picks him up whenever he's loose. So it could be that he's a threat, that he stuns me. If my fab runs out in 4 seconds, he could stun me and threat reset me and go to the tank, the raid camp, and that's why we need a backup tank. But he could also send me spinning, which is more dangerous. But we'll see this later when there will be a pack of 3 of them. Okay, so next is gonna be a set of lab packs. We did this already, so we covered this. Just gonna skip over this. Don't jump on the stairs here, and that's it. Just gonna skip over all these lab packs, and then again we are in this room. There are 3 Death Tail and Wormguards. There's gonna be the next boss up there. He's patrolling, but we have to clear them first. So let me pull up some notes here, just to see what we have written down here. So this was the last big pack with 1 Wormguard with Fab. We covered this, and then we have the triple Wormguards here, Death Tail and Wormguards. So every melee needs to have Fab ready, and we need 1 tank on each and 1 backup tank on each. So this is the most dangerous trash in this instant, by far, 100%. A lot of deaths I have seen here personally and also in clips. So Please, please be very careful here. We can also equip an Oni cloak here in case we ever have a ninja pull from the boss above. He will actually patrol downstairs until this spot here. And if we have the mobs here closer to the stairs, then he will aggro. So pull these back and fan them out. So usually the idea is you have hunters pull them, tanks pick them up with Fab running. You will see me doing this. And then the off tanks, there will be one off tanks for each, will position far away before the range camp in order to pick them up whenever they are loose. When they are loose, the off tanks will Fab, taunt them, and bring them back to the main tank. So this is what covered here also in this section. And it's good, hands off the keyboard DPS, wait for the pull, wait which target we're gonna focus first. We're gonna target always the targets that are easy. I will explain what easy means in a second. And whenever they are loose or uncontrolled in the raid, get ready to dummy. So dummies are very important here if we have threat reset, but not for the spinning ones. Okay, I will call this out later. First of all, communication in the beginning. If tanks pull them, observe the abilities they have and then call out if your target is good or bad, okay? And mages and warlocks, they have a vulnerability to a certain school of magic. So you always have to detect magic on them and then check if they have a weakness to shadow. You should not use shadow or frost or fire or whatever. It's very easy to overnuke here because the tank is actually mostly unable to build up threat because he is stunned, spinning, or they have threat reset. So if they have a weakness to your school of magic, like fire mage or like a frost mage, and they are frost or shadow, and you're a warlock, then please do not use this element. Okay, just be disciplined here. Okay, let's see what's happening here on the pull. As I said,
for 3 mana.
let's see what happens here. I am fapping here, pulling up my target. Taunting is always safe. And then I see already that one mob on Sinless is having a sandstorm. That means spinning, right? And I have still to observe the abilities from my mob. And I'm pretty sure I call out that my mob is safe here. And that's why everyone is going here. You can see my mob is not having a special ability. Yeah. You can see on the back that this tank here over there is spinning. So this is the special ability if they have it. This is Bronze. And that means everyone melee can go carefully max melee range and stay below the tank here, yeah. Ideally, just have the range finish this because the spinning deals AoE damage around them and can kill you very, very quickly.